Okay, so we have assigned some value to roles, entitlements, and policies. Just go to Identity Warehouse. Nothing will be there. No risk has been assigned. So just refresh the task. Refresh IdentityQ. Execute the task. And to refresh the risk score, we have a separate task as well. So you can execute both of them. Refresh risk score. So it's going to refresh all the risk score for all identities. We have a separate task. Okay. So a policy violation has been changed. Risk score has been changed. Okay. So let's go to Identity's identity, where else you'll come to know some risk score value has been updated right so far. So you can validate this, users, by using this task. Very frequently how we can do that. Let's learn that as well. So far we have assigned some value to access level, like roles and internal policies. So how you can trigger, how you can validate. Go to click on Intelligence. Go to Identity Risk Scores. So from here you can highlight it all the high-risk user easily. Okay, click on High One. So all high-risk users will be visible over here. So you have around 158 identities. So, based on the risk score you have assigned, only you have 8 identities, which are the sum score, composite score. The composite score will be generated based on Sailpoint algorithm. So I'm not sure how it's been generated, because we have assigned some points to roles and some policies, right? So how it's going to calculate 689? I'm not sure because Sailpoint has some algorithm based on that it will get generated. Have checked with couple of peoples. No one has a clear idea how it's been generated. So I can validate these users, this particular 8 users, very easily. Just you can select all the users. And you can schedule a certification the moment. You are going to schedule certification only for these 8 identities. Is manager can validate very easily, so only, instead of doing for 158 users. Now you are going to validate, which means you are going to checking access for this 80 users, since it's a high-risk users. Now you understand the concept. Is it make sense? Yes. What will happen if the risk scores go more about 1,000? The what will? Manager? In case you have any. Come again British in case the risk score is more than 1,000 or so. What can know? You won't be able to say more than 1,000, since 1,000 is the highest point. Okay. So what will manager do if it is in 1,000? So if it is 1,000, then certification will get trigger. Okay, and or else we can set the policy violation as well. It will notify to his manager. Okay, so he's your subordinate. So you have to validate his access immediately. Some certification has been generated. You have to validate his access. So he'll open his access, and he will check whether he has the right access or not, something like that. So we will learn as part of the certification process. Certification trigger, no issue. Okay, the moment you are going to schedule any certification, it will access, reviews will be generated, and it will get notified to his manager. If you're going to trigger manager certification. Okay, the moment which will let me show you no issue if I'm going to schedule certification for this, aid users. Okay, so it will get notified to his manager. If you want, or else you can select some particular person to validate. From here. Is it make sense? So let me select SP admin only. Okay, so certification will be generator. You can go to Setup Certifications. Some certification has been generated now. It will get generated, and it will notify to his manager, and they can validate. So that's the purpose. You have any? You have question? Yeah. Question number 1 is like we get the score, and we talked about the policy scoring as well. So I wanted to ask the policy violation. Not sure, because I missed 2 clauses, but did we cover policy violation? Because no, but I understand. Okay, just for a demo purpose have created one policy, so whoever has the policy violation, some point will be generated. So policy violation. It means, for example, we have set up a policy saying that, okay, you cannot have this entitlement and this entitlement together. Okay, right. So conflicting entitlement. Yeah, so conflicting entitlement. So in that case, policy would be violated, but when the policy violation occurs, yeah, what did? Would it get the second entitlement, or it will not get the second time? I mean, you can decide whether you are going to provide an entitlement or not. It's up to the requirement. It's up to the situation. Let's take an example. 2 people are working for one department on. One is working for a stable. Another one is working for visible. He's responsible. It's job function, and one candidate, one employee has worked on both the departments on. Another person is on out of vacation or some situation. He is frozen. His manager is frozen to work the same employee to work on both the department. In that scenario, you have to provide both the entitlement right for the entitlement or role. So if you have already policy defined, but even though you are going to allow the employee to work on both the department, it will happen. So usually these policy violations where we assign it. Those are kind of just kind of policy information violation, saying that, okay, we have. You have gotten another entitlement which you are not supposed to get. That's why we are raising your score. It's all the more like this. It's not like because policy violation score will not mean anything if we are not assigning, if you are restricting. I mean the policy gets triggered, and we are restricting it. So we have not yet assigned right. So policy violation score will not make any sense. It will be misleading. In that case, right? No, I mean, can you elaborate more or else on this scenario, what you just said? I mean if you have entitlement 1, entitlement 2, and they are mutually exclusive. We cannot give these entitlements, and we created a policy saying that whenever anybody requests the other entitlement and entitlement 2, and he is already carrying entitlement 1 and the policy gets triggered and, as a part of the policy, the user will not be assigned entitlement 2. So in that case policy will be triggered, but it will not be assigned the entitlement 2. So in that case, if we assign this policy, the score right, it will be misleading because the score is like, because the user has not gotten the other entitlement.